Hi, just a quick update on the µRuler campaign. Thank you for everyone who contributed. It was awesome. It absolutely went gangbusters. Fantastic. And like in the order of 9 or 10,000 rulers or something like that, 2,300 supporters. It broke all records, smashed all records for the largest supported campaign in Pozzible history. So awesome. Thank you very much. But now I've got to pack and ship them. And I thought I'd just do a little video here of me actually packing what I have to do to pack and ship just the Australian rulers, because I've found an external mailing house because, you know, we're talking 2,300 envelopes here. I've got to label, pack, ship, and put stamps on and everything else. It's just not practical for me to do it myself. But I did promise that these things would ship in September, and I do have 1,200 rulers here. Here they are in packs of 100. So I do have 1,200 rulers which I initially ordered, but the extra 8,500 rulers aren't going to ship to me until the end of September. So by the time the mailing house deals with that, they probably won't ship until October. So I felt bad about that, and I'm sitting on 1,200 rulers. So 1,200 is almost the just over the exact number required to fulfill the Australian orders. So I thought I'd personally pack and ship all the Australian rulers. I think it's 280 odd envelopes or something like that, and I think it's 1,150 rulers. So I've got all of the rulers here. I've got my envelopes. I've got a box of 500 envelopes. It's actually, when you start packing and shipping stuff like this in quantity, just little tiny things make a big difference. For example, getting an envelope which is self-sealing like this, doesn't have that peel off strip on it to actually protect it. It's got the gum on the top part there and gum on the bottom part there. You know, you can save a second just peeling off that thing and tossing it in the bin. So all that sort of stuff in high volume actually adds up. So I've got 500 self-seal envelopes, even though I don't need that many. That's the box they came in. Made in Australia, by the way. Beauty. And I've got my 1,200 odd rulers. There they are. They look fantastic. The extra 8,500 on the way should be exactly the same, except they'll have a 2mm hole just down around down around there somewhere like that. They had to do it for high volume 8,500 manufacture of these things to get the nice routing edge. They needed 2 tooling holes on the thing. So I'd already had a 2mm hole over here, so they needed another 2mm hole over here just to ensure that they could, because all these 1,200 they made don't have the hole, but they hand taped those down apparently to hold them in place while the machine routed all the edges. They said they couldn't do that for 8,500. I had no idea, and well, I had no real option but to include that extra hole. So the 8,500 will have that. No big deal. It doesn't ruin or obscure anything like that. So there you go. We got our 1,200 odd rulers. I've got all the stamps in these nice roll packages. So Sagan attacked this one. It's already, see, the top's ruined on that, but anyway, you get them in roll and you peel them off, and just really easy and efficient to peel those out. I've got my tape, because I'm actually going to have to tape the rulers together first so that they don't rattle around inside the envelope, or at least rub against each other. That's the fear. Some people were concerned about that, so I'm going to have to tape each individual ruler. So I'll do a whole batch of the 2 rulers, tape them all together, then I'll do a whole batch of 5. So and little things like, for example, my tape dispenser here is really quite annoying. The little serrated edge on that isn't very good, and it's very difficult to sort of, it's not very efficient. So if you're doing this in really high volume, you get one of those automated tape dispenser things that actually, you push a button and it dispenses a set length of tape and stuff like that. And that can really, little things like that can save you a bit of aggravation. So got a bit of aggro there, but anyway, that shouldn't be too much drama. I think it should only take me a couple of hours all up. I've got all my addresses printed. I'll show you that. So they're all printed and sorted in the particular types. I'll go through that on the computer, but we're ready to go. One last thing you need: chocolate. And just on the mailing house issue, actually, I did ask them to pack and ship the Australian rules earlier, the 1200 that I have here. And they said, yeah, we can do it, but we'll have to charge you that big, upfront NRE cost again, because they like to do everything all in one big hit. So for them to set up and get ready for it, even though I don't think it's a huge amount of work. Anyway, they wanted to charge like a wounded bull for that. So I went, oh, bugger that. I'll just ship these on my own. It's got to take me less than a day, surely. And also, just to tape those rulers together, the mailing house is going to do that as well. I'm not sure how, whether they've got some automated machine they can do it. Probably not. It's just going to be done by hand, but they've probably got one of those tape dispenser things, make it a bit easier than me. But that's actually a significant cost. Just to tape those rulers together actually costs the same as it does to actually stuff the envelopes and seal them, or to address the envelopes and stuff like that. So all those little steps, those manual steps at the mailing house, all add up to, in this case, in terms of, I got $30,000 from the campaign. It's not a huge percentage of that cost, so that's why it was a no-brainer to go for the mailing house. But if you're on razor thin margins, these things do add up. So the majority of my cost is, of course, actually manufacturing the rulers themselves and the postage. I've got like, I think over $5,000 in postage or something like that. So absolutely incredible. But of course, the mailing house won't be sticking on stamps like this. They've got those franking machines, like official machines that are tied into the post office system and can inkjet directly onto the individual envelopes, and it's all official. And then Australia Post charge them, and and then they pass on the charge to me, and it is actually cheaper to get it bulk done with one of those franking machines. Now on the Pozzible website here, because it's my project, I can go in and get a supporters tab here, and it tells me number of supporters 2,327, the total pledged amount $31,381. Incredible. Not captured. I have no idea what that means. I guess they didn't go through the fulfillment process or something. Anyway, what I can do is I can download a CSV file containing all of the address and shipping data, which is fantastic, except for those who, after a repeated request, would not enter their address data in. Then what I can do here is I can use my Dymo labeling program to import the CSV file, and here's all the fields. All the data's down in there. I won't show you, but it's split up all of those Excel files into fields, and I can just put the various names on the particular, the various fields on the label here. So it's going to have the person's full name, their street address, their suburb, state and postcode, and that's how you would label things for the Australian postal system. Like, you wouldn't bother putting the country in there, of course, because it's only local mail. So it just imports the particular field, and I can just press next, and bang, it imports all the data, and then I can just press print, and bingo, out will pop. In this case, this particular file is only for the 76. There it is. 76 labels. So these are the Australian customers who have only ordered 2 rulers. And there we go, out come all our labels, 76 of them, and it takes no time at all. As you can see, I've got my Dymo 450 Turbo. The Turbo is like twice as quick as the other one. So there you go. Too easy. So there you go, we have our 76 printed labels. Only took like a minute. Fantastic. Another minute just to import the names, and all done. Very quick, very efficient. So that's for the people who ordered 2 rulers. I'll do the same again. There'll be a few more people who ordered 5 rulers. So way too easy. And once you've got these labels printed, then of course you can't really miss anyone, because you go, well, is the label, or are they all empty? If the answer is yes, you've sent them all out. Far too easy. Now on the Pozzible website here, because it's my project, I can go in and get a supporters tab here, and it tells me number of supporters 2,327, the total pledged amount $31,381. Incredible. Not captured. I have no idea what that means. I guess they didn't go through the fulfillment process or something. Anyway, what I can do is I can download a CSV file containing all of the address and shipping data, which is fantastic, except for those who, after a repeated request, would not enter their address data in. And here is what it actually spits out. Please forgive the lack of screen capture. I couldn't be bothered here. And basically, here is number 1. It's got their full name, and the amount that they bought, PayPal transaction, the reward that they got, the $10 one, i.e. µRulers, or the $15 one, plus some people actually just donated some money, which is really good. Thank you, John. And we've got over here the address, full address, and their street address. Now their full address, I've raised this info here to protect everyone's privacy, of course, and the full address actually contains all of these fields over here, but just in one big long line, and that's not the full address. There is not very useful for importing, or it'll be a pain in the ass to import into my label program. So thankfully they split those out into the street address, and then the suburb, and then the state, and then the postcode over here, and then the country. Fantastic. So I can then go into my spreadsheet program. I can sort by country, of course, because that's what I'm going to ship all the Australian orders myself, and then all the overseas ones I'm going to leave up to the mailing house. But there you go. So I can sort, only get the Australian ones, and then further sort those. Once I've got the Australian ones, further sort them into the reward, because then I need to print out separate labels for the ones who've ordered 2 rulers and for the ones who've ordered 5. Otherwise, I'd be shipping people the wrong amounts. So ultimately, I'm going to end up with 4 different files here. One is the Australian one for 2 rulers, Australian for 5, and then overseas for 2 rulers and overseas for 5 rulers. And the overseas ones, those files, those CSV files, I will send to the mailing house. And if you want to have a look at the countries here, if you're curious, I can sort here, extended selection. There we go. One from Almelo in the Netherlands. So there you go. They've got somebody has goofed up their state and their country there. So little things like this I have to go in and fix up manually. Otherwise, it's not going to work too well. And there's one Osria in there, but that's actually Austria, I believe. So there you go. I've got to go in and fix up that manually. But there's I think there's 270 Australian ones. There's Austria. Some people have put Australia, not Austria. Fantastic. But that doesn't matter. That won't screw me up. Belgium, Brazil, quite a few from Brazil. Canada, tons from Canada. Chile, Croatia, Cyprus. What on earth is that? Hungary. There we go. There's somebody else who's mixed up their country and their suburb or whatever there. So have to fix it up. Denmark, Deutschland, Germany, and then England, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany. Tons from Germany. I've got a huge viewership in Germany. Greece, Great Britain, Hong Kong, Iceland, Hungary. Israel, Italy, oh man, all over the shop. There we go. Another person's mixed up the that in the Czech Republic there. So there's, there are actually quite a few. There's at least a few dozen in here. I've got to go fix up manually. Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Slovakia, South Africa, Spain, Sweden. So it really, Switzerland, the Netherlands, USA, and it's quite interesting how another one, there we go, screwed it up. MN, what? See, I assume that's UN, US. They haven't even put in their country in there. So I've got to go sort that out manually, figure out where they're from and stuff like that. So really, there is, even though you've got all this data in a usable format, you really still have to go in and tweak this sort of stuff. And it's interesting how some people put USA with dots, and then some people put United Kingdom C, because this is the problem that Pozzible have that country as a text field. So not everyone, see, it would have been better to have a drop-down box and then a proper text, proper text, so that everyone has exactly the same spelling. So if I wanted to sort these into the United States, for example, some people have got United States, United States of America, USA, US, USA, USA with dots, all that sort of jazz. So, really, that's an issue with Pozzible. Someone in the UK has mixed up West Yorkshire is not a country. There you go, in the United Kingdom, in Leeds. So, yeah, a few things I've got to fix up. So, this thing isn't as automated as you might think, even though you get the data in a very usable format like this. And I really needed a more efficient way to count out the number of 5 here. So, you know, I could do it by eye, but I'm probably eventually going to get a mistake, and it's a bit tiring. So I thought I'd just find something. I found this aluminium bar here, which just happens to be the same thickness as these 5. So I can just go, boom, like that, and I've got myself 5 rulers. Easy. And if I was doing like the full order of 10,000 of these or more, of course I would optimize this a bit more, because then you wouldn't have to slide this across and then move these ones out and, you know, stuff like that. So I'd probably build some sort of little rig that just sort of held them all vertically like that perhaps, and then just had a little slot, and I just, you know, pushed them across, and then 5 just fell out, and maybe I could, you know, automate the tape in, something like that. You know, there's lots of little jigs you can come up with to help yourself just automate these mundane tasks, but I don't have that many, so this is fine. And it really doesn't take long at all before you can just instinctively feel in your hand that there's 5 rulers there. 4 feels obviously too small, and 6 feels obviously too many. It just becomes instinctive, like, you know, 5-10 minutes, easy. And almost done on the 5 ruler lot. And that's taken me just on, or just under, I think, an hour to sort those rulers out. So there you go. It should be less time again for the 2 rulers, or slightly less, limited number, but that's maybe, you know, maybe an hour and a half, definitely under 2 hours, all up, to tape those rulers, all 1,200 of them. And now we have the envelopes. I think it's probably more efficient to label and stamp the envelopes first before we actually insert the rulers, so do it in a batch process. So this is where these little peel off stamps come in handy. Wham, like that, and then you can just peel off the sticker, wham, and we're done. Well, that's 177 addressed and stamped envelopes, and I haven't even put my return address on the back if I wanted to, and that took 40 minutes, because I sent a photo tweet in the middle of that. So there you go. That works out to about 13.5 seconds per envelope. And what's left over? Well, there it is. And there you have it. That's actually not that bad at all, although it is a fair bit of manual dexterity work to stuff those envelopes. It only took 19 minutes to stuff 177 of those, so that's an average of around about 6.4 seconds per envelope. And no, I didn't get any paper cuts. Beauty. And there you have it. We have a tub of 177 letters times 5 rulers in each one. Of course, I've still got to do the 76 or so times 2 ruler orders, so I won't bore you with all those details. But there you go. That wasn't too painful at all. That's, you know, certainly less than a day's work to, you know, pack, ship, label, stamp, tape, do everything for a couple of hundred orders. But I am glad this is like 1/10 of the number of total orders I've got, so I certainly wouldn't want to you know, spend another you know, 6 or 7 days. It'd probably take you know, a good working week to pack and send the 2,300 envelopes, I think, if I just did it on my own. And yeah, it would not be pleasant at all, but at least I personally packed and shipped the Australian ones, and that was rather satisfying. Actually, I rather enjoyed that. So anyway, that's the video, and I hope all the backers enjoy their rulers. Catch you next time.